Today, our topic of discussion is hormones in humans, or the endocrine system of human beings. What is an endocrine system? An endocrine system is the system in which there are several types of glands involved, and all these glands pour their secretions which they made inside them into the blood directly. They are also called as ductless glands because these glands, they do not have any duct to secrete their secretions. That's why they directly pour their secretion into the blood and transport them to the target organs. Nervous system and endocrine control. The nervous system and endocrine systems are both involved in controlling the internal conditions of a mammal. We have a table here which demonstrates the difference in between these two types of systems in our body. Like for example, the signal type, which nervous system control, is electrical, or the action potential of the body, of the nerve system, or of the nerve cells. And in the endocrine system, it is due to the chemicals produced by these glands, which are called as the hormones. The speed of the signals in the nervous system is very much fast, like it is in milliseconds of a second. And in endocrine system or in endocrine control, they are relatively slow, because they are traveling in the bloodstream, so it depends upon your blood pressure. The duration of the signal is short lasting, like they are for short time, while the duration of the signal in endocrine control is long lasting. We have an example of the endocrine gland is the adrenal gland. And adrenal glands secrete a hormone that is known as adrenaline, which is also called as epinephrine. This epinephrine or adrenaline hormone is secreted by the adrenal gland present on the upper side of each kidney. So there are two adrenal glands in our bodies. These adrenal glands consist of two parts internally. One is the cortex and the other one is the medulla. Adrenaline or epinephrine hormone is secreted by the medullary region of the adrenal gland. Here are some functions of the adrenaline or epinephrine hormone. So the major function of this hormone is to initiate a rapid generalized response. It helps to cope up the fight or flight responses of the body, like for example the fear and tear responses. And due to the adrenaline release of the adrenaline, the dilation of the blood vessels which goes to the skeletal muscles and the liver, it increases. Like for example, the blood vessels which brings or transport blood to the skeletal muscles of your body and the liver, they dilates. They increase in size, which makes the supply of blood more and more towards the liver and skeletal muscles. Metabolism in the cells increases. Respiration, here it means respiration increases, which produces more and more energy and heat also. So in the process of respiration, glucose is being used. So if the respiration process increases, the blood glucose level decreases, and it directly affects the liver. So one of the function of adrenaline is that liver starts converting glycogen into glucose, because there is a deficiency occurs in the blood glucose level. So to fulfill that conditions at that level, the liver starts converting glycogen into glucose. And if the dilation of the blood occurs towards the peripheral region of the body, it also makes the blood pressure rises. In this case, dilation of the pupil of the eye also occurs. Dilation means the increase in the size of the pupil, which is due to the iris muscles. So the contraction of the iris muscles, the radial muscles of the iris, they contracts, which makes the pupil to dilate. The heart rate and breathing rate also increases due to this hormone. The blood vessels in the skin dilates, causing more blood to flow towards the skin, which makes you red. Are your skin, the appearance of your skin red? It's because of this hormone. The blood flow towards the digestive system decreases, which makes the digestive system to work slow. Here are some other endocrine glands, are hormones, their sources, their role, and their effects on the body. Like for example, first one is ADH. It is secreted by the pituitary gland and it controls the water level in the blood by reabsorbing water from the kidneys. Their effect is when ADH is present, more water is reabsorbed back into the blood. Adrenaline, we just studied about it. Insulin is the source of insulin is pancreas. It regulates the blood glucose level and its effects are the excess glucose stored in the liver. Testosterone is released by the testicles and its principal male sex hormones, like it promotes the development of the secondary sexual characteristics. Progesterone, it is released from the ovaries of female and it regulates the female menstrual cycle and pregnancy, and it prepares the body for conception and pregnancy. Estrogen, it is also released from the ovaries. Its principal female sex hormone. It makes the development of the secondary sexual characteristics of females. Coordination and response in plants. Coordination in plants. Plants also show movement by growth of their various parts. It is the plant hormone that promotes its growth. The movement of the plant parts is due to various stimuli like gravity, water, light, chemical, touch, etc. So the function of control and coordination in plant is performed by the chemical substances called as the plant hormones or phytohormones, because plants, they lack nervous system. So if they lack nervous system, there would be some other system which controls all the activity of the plant body, and these are called as phytohormones. Tropism. The growth movements which occurs in response to unidirectional external stimuli and results in positioning of the plant part in the direction of the stimulus are said to be tropic movements, and they, depending upon the nature of the stimuli, these movements are of the following types. First, phototropism, geotropism, hydrotropism, and chemotropism. Today we will be studying about phototropism. Phototropism is the movement of the plant parts towards the stimulus, external stimulus, which is in the form of sunlight or light. Plant hormones. The plant controls and coordination is done by chemical substances called as the plant hormones or phytohormones. There are 5 main types of plant hormones, which are auxins, they helps in cell division, cell elongation and growth. Gibberellin helps in growth of the stem and branches. Cytokinins, it helps in cell division, formation of fruits and seeds. Abscisic acid inhibits growth and affects wilting of leaves. Ethylene helps in flowering and ripening of fruits. Here our topic of discussion is about auxins. Auxin is a plant hormone that controls growth of the cells. It is mostly made in the tips of the growing stems and roots and can diffuse to other parts of the stem or roots. Like this hormone is mainly prepared or synthesized on the tips, final region of the apexes of the stem and roots, and from there it is then transported to the different regions of the plant body. Auxin makes the cell behind the tip get longer. The more auxin there is, the faster they will grow. Like from wherever the response is, the plant getting their response, the auxin will move on the backside of that region. For example, auxins are sensitive to light, so if a plant is getting light from all sides, if for example if a plant is growing outside environment, then the light will shine all around the tip. In this case, the auxin is distributed evenly in the plant part, as you can see in the picture, and the cells will grow at the same rate. All the cells will grow at the same rate. This is what normally happens with plants growing outside. But on the other hand, if you can see, if for example light is coming from one direction or it's from one side, then what will happen? The auxins in the tip will concentrate on the shady side, not on the side of the light. So these auxin, they will move towards the opposite side of the light, and then they will make the plant to bend towards the light. So this unequal growth of either side of the shoot causes the shoot to bend and grow in the direction of the light. Etiolation. Etiolation is a process in flowering plant grown in partial or complete absence of light. It is characterized by long, weak stems, smaller leaves due to longer internodes, and a pale yellow color, which is known as chlorosis. If for example they are not getting enough light, chlorophyll will not be formed there. So if chlorophyll is not formed there, the color of the leaves will change from green to white or yellow. This is called as chlorosis, and this is because when some plants they are grown in shady areas and they are not getting enough sunlight, so this is what happened to them, and this process is known as etiolation. Weed killers. Herbicides are commonly known as weed killers. They are the substances used to control unwanted plants which are grown in the crops. So selective herbicides control specific weeds species which leaving the desired crop relatively unharmed. We are spraying that those weed killers are herbicides in a crops where there are different variety of plants growing there. So we just want to remove those unwanted plants from the crop or from the field. So these weed killers or herbicides are selective in nature. The selective herbicides, they control only certain plants without affecting the growth of the other plant species which are growing in that field. So 2,4-D control many broadleaf weeds but remain ineffective against the grasses. So these are called as weed killer. Thank you.